Thank you for tuning in to MacroView Television, and welcome to a brand new edition of the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Wu Ruiguo. On today's program, we're delighted to have Mr. Martin Liu, who is the Managing Director of Amway Taiwan, to talk about his recent experiences in bringing in over 12,000 top sales representatives from Amway China. Martin, welcome to the Taiwan Outlook.
Thank you, Raymond.
Yes. Well, Martin, let us start with some figures, with some numbers first. I know for the past 2 months that you've been actively involved in bringing in over 12,000 top sales representatives from Amway China. This is possibly the single largest group of Chinese tourists to Taiwan since the government here last year opened up to Chinese tourism to Taiwan. And can you tell us how many groups were there and how many days did they stay in Taiwan? What were some of the relevant numbers that you have regarding the group?
Well, we invited actually exactly 12,077 Amway sales representatives from Amway China.
That's quite sizable.
Right. And the first sailing was from March 14th.
March 14th.
From Shanghai.
Okay.
And yesterday it was May 16th.
Okay.
So in total, it took around 64 days.
Okay.
For the 9 sailings.
Okay. And you had altogether, what, 8 or 9 groups?
9 groups, 9 sailings.
9 sailings. Okay. And how long did each group stay in Taiwan?
Well, actually, the whole sailing took 6 days, 6 nights. We depart from Saturday and then return Friday. Mm-hmm. But the actual time they spend in Taiwan is 3 full days.
Okay.
3 port calls in Taipei, Keelung, Hualien, and Taichung.
Taichung, okay. And why would the schedule arranged in such a way that the top sales from China didn't stay in hotels, but they came on a cruise ship? What was the reason?
Yeah. Well, it was actually 2 years ago when we decided, in Amway we provide incentive trips,
of course,
for our outstanding performance distributor, or we call them sales representatives, in every affiliate. Amway China is one of them.
Yes.
So 2 years ago we decided that we are going to put them in an Asian cruise.
Okay.
Very likely go to Japan and Korea.
Okay.
Cruise is itself a very exciting way of travel.
Of course.
So we believe that our sales representatives will be very exciting for that goal. So 2 years ago we set that goal, and we actually chartered a cruise from Royal Caribbean, from Costa.
Okay.
But last year, when we were working on this program, it was a time when Taiwan just newly opened the tourist policy.
Yes.
Openness to Chinese.
Yes.
And it was a time when the global economic crisis hit Taiwan as well as the other part of the world.
Yes.
So I was thinking, if we can bring them by cruise, not only by cruise, but if we can bring them to Taiwan, that will make our guests very exciting.
Yes.
Most of the Chinese never been in Taiwan before.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was this idea, and I believe that if we can do it, it will be helpful not only to Taiwanese people, to the economy of Taiwan.
Yes.
It also will benefit Amway. Will make Amway brand famous.
Yes,
in both sides.
Yes.
So we start working on this program. Only by that time I found it was almost a dream.
Okay.
Every agencies worked with us, travel agencies in both sides, China and Taiwan. They told me that it's almost next to impossible.
Yeah.
Nobody ever did it before.
Because of the size of the groups, or is it because the kinds of requirements that you had in terms of how the package, should be, put together?
It was almost on every single aspect. First, the size.
Yes.
12,000 people, each and every one of them have to apply 2 different kinds of documents.
Okay.
First, they need the permit from China side.
Yes. Yeah.
And that they have to go back to their registered
residence
area
yes.
to apply for that permit, which normally take a few months.
Yes.
And then they will need another visa permit or entry permit from Taiwan government.
Yes.
And imagine that is 12,000 people.
Yes.
Just we got a few months to do that.
There will be tons of paperwork.
Right. Yes. And second is that not every Chinese citizens are allowed to visit Taiwan.
Okay.
That is a regulation from China.
Exactly.
Up to today.
Yes.
Even up to today, after Amway's 9 selling or 12,000 people have successfully visited Taiwan, there are still people from 6 provinces in China are not allowed to visit Taiwan yet.
Okay.
We got a special approval.
Okay, good. Yes.
And the other obstacle is that the selling between mainland China and Taiwan was regarded as a special domestic
cross-strait
right.
route, yes.
And that, according to the newly signed regulation agreement, they don't allow foreigner vehicles to sail between these 2 sides.
Okay.
We got special approval.
Oh,
so there was so many obstacles, but I think both sides, governments in both sides, they want it to happen.
Yes.
They
had that will.
They have the will, and they are so helpful. So only when the number 9 selling, that Costa cruise carried more than 1,000 passengers arrived Shanghai port.
Yes.
I would say that mission accomplished
and
the dream come true.
Yes. It was a huge relief for you, I'll bet. Yes. But let me ask you, though. I mean, over the past 2 months, during the start of the first, group to Taiwan, to the return of the final group, back to Shanghai, that you were involved from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
What was your impression from talking with your, fellow, sales representatives from Amway China? What was your impression that they have gathered, from their visit to Taiwan, about the people, about the island, and about the different foods they were exposed to, and the places they have visited?
Well, the question you asked was the question that I want to ask, and I did ask our guest.
Okay.
We have a questionnaire from selling 1, from group 1 all the way down to group 9. We give questionnaires to each and every guest. I want to know how exciting are they, and what make them most impressive in Taiwan.
Of course.
So I was happy to know that the overall rating of this trip, including the cruise, food, service, gift, catering, or even the sightseeing, overall they give us 95% of satisfaction rate.
Oh, terrific.
We used to have, the highest record we got was 92. Okay. And I thought that 92 is almost
impossible to break.
Right. And this time, for the cruise to Taiwan, 12,000 guests gave us a total 95% satisfaction. And I think that is partly because of the cruise and unique way of traveling, partly because of the destination. Taiwan is a place where most of them cannot come yet. And the third part is because of media attention. Yes. And when you ask me what is the most impressive part of this trip, is that I was told it's just a regular tourist group visiting from one place to the other. Yes. But it seems that media in Taiwan was so interested to...
And very creative.
Yes. Right. So, and also make me very impressive. And also make our guests very impressive as well. And I think they realized that this trip is such an historical event, and they were part of the historical event. Yes. Beyond that media attention, I think people in Taiwan probably is the most impressive part for them. Yes. Chinese in mainland China and in Taiwan, they were separate for around 60 years. Exactly. Many Taiwanese goes to China, but not so many mainland Chinese came to Taiwan. Yes. So I think people in Taiwan, either the salespeople in department store or our tour guides, or just those waitresses in the restaurant, they impress our Chinese guests very well. And they are warm, kind, with good hospitality and good service. Okay. And Martin, I have actually 2 questions to follow up on what you just said. First is, you're describing the process, of getting these 12,000 people approved by both the government in China and also the government in Taiwan. There must be a point,
I would suppose, during the planning stage, that it came to you as say, oh boy, this is too much. I can't take this anymore. You know, I mean, there's so much paperwork and so much, difficulties, and then I don't want to continue with this. When that came, how did you overcome that?
You're right. You read precisely. There was a timing when that we found this. You know, the clock is clicking.
Yes.
And the chartered cruise,
yes,
they cannot be postponed or wait. We paid for that, and you have to sail on March 14th.
Yes.
But the approval, we haven't get it. And, bring 12,000 people to a place is not just an easy job.
No.
So there was a moment of time, it was last December when we said there's nowhere to go, and we were almost giving up. I said, okay, let's forget it. We can easily go to Japan and Korea.
Yeah, go to other places.
Right.
Yes.
And our guests were probably equally exciting.
Yes.
But I think
this is unique. Like you said, this is historic.
Unique, and I think it's a dream.
Yes.
It's in a unique historical moment. We either do it now.
Yes.
Or you would never be able to do it.
Yeah, it'll never happen.
Yeah. So actually, we were taking risk.
Yes.
Actually, my team member were planning for contingencies.
Yes.
We visit the port and contact travel agencies in Korea and in Japan. We were planning for, in case we cannot go to Taiwan, the ship will sail to Japan and Korea. But we got some encouragement. I see the dim lights at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
That government officers from China and from Taiwan, they would like to see it happen.
Yes.
But there was some regulations, red tapes in both side governments.
Yes.
And I think at the end of 2008, the Christmas, I spent my Christmas in Shanghai.
Yes.
I spent my New Year Eve in Beijing.
Okay, trying to finalize the process.
Right.
Okay. But I'm so happy, not only for your fellow top sales representatives from China that you didn't give up, but also for the fact that your persistence actually paid off and made this historic visit a reality. And we're going to take a short break, Martin. And when we come back to the Taiwan Outlook, we'll continue this discussion about this historic visit by over 12,000 top sales representatives from Amway China to Taiwan. And we'll be back in 3 minutes.